Hey there, in case you and I haven't met before, my name is Bill Hawthorn. I'm a creative real estate investor. I have been doing it for 21 plus years full time, have done hundreds of transactions by myself, and I have done at least that many with my coaching clients or students that I work with. And I wanted to let you know that, not to brag today, but to let you know that I have some experience. So what I'm about to help you with doesn't come from some book I just read or some piece of software I use or theory. My world is all about application and working with what I'm talking about to you. So here's what I've done is I had a session with a bunch of students where I actually taught how to do creative real estate with my 7 core strategies. Okay. And what I do is I don't just say, here's what I do, here's the math, here's how I do it, and just teach, and do a lecture. I'd rather they be able to apply what they learn. To me, education means that you can use what you've learned in real life, right? So what I do is I go through the strategies, and then I actually do a practical or a session where the students have to actually show me that they've absorbed the information that we were talking about. And the way we do that is we go over example deal structures. And most of the time, these are deals that I have done in the past or in the middle of working on now. And I just kind of mock up a slide and say, here's the situation. Here's how much they're selling for. Here's what it's worth. Here's how much repairs or how much they're behind on payments. And how would you structure this deal? And I let them tell me how they would structure the deal. So it's a really cool exercise. I do it quite a bit. So what I wanted to do with you today is give you an example of how I do this so you can see how I coach someone and how I help people learn the creative real estate business. So to do that, I'm going to flip my screen over to a clip that I took from that seminar, or that meetup seminar. And I'm going to just show you the clip, and then as soon as the clip is done, I'm going to come back and we'll wrap up with how you can get more information like this, or how you can learn those 7 strategies yourself. Okay? So here's the clip. Check it out. Example number 3, and I had to do some cheaper houses for the guys in the middle of the country. House is worth $95,000. I actually did this deal the other day. $95,000. Seller owes $82,000. Monthly payments are $580 and current. House is pretty and doesn't need repairs. Seller's mother is ill. My screen, my Zoom screen is in the way here. Okay. Seller's mother is ill and lives about 2 hours away, and will need to live with the mom and wants to stop going back and forth, is a little flexible, but only if it benefits her. So what's the first thing we do?
Figure out the percentage loan to value.
Which is?
Working on it.
89%.
Thank
90%.
you.
What is it? 89%?
Yep.
Okay, so I would like to fess up here, okay? So who said it was 89%?
Eric.
Eric?
86.3.
Yes.
Be 86.
Okay,
86.
so it's 86%. So here's the thing. These are not steadfast. These are not in stone. They're percentages, so you could sit in a house or talk to a seller and do the percentages quickly. Okay? So, well, let's talk. What would you guys do here? What are the options that you have? What are the choices that you have for doing this deal?
Option of purchase or a slot.
It's option.
Lot.
Option of purchase.
That's right. Good, guys. Well done.
Mhm.
Now, the point I'm telling you is that I would bend the rules a little bit, because if I can get her to let me take over the payments, I would not be so worried about.
$580 a month.
I wouldn't worry about subject to, because here's a little trick. No, you should not do this. And if I catch you doing this, I'm going to throw the calculator at you and yell and scream for 10 minutes. But I do it, so I have to tell you, I have to fess up and be truthful. You could, because you know you're not going to sell for what the house is worth. You're on a lease option, you're always going to sell for 5 or 10% more. So it's possible we could sell this house at 110. Not possible. I'm going to sell it for 110. And if you do the loan to value ratio between the 82 and the 110, it puts you in the subject to category. So anything close here, as long as I've got a good payment here, because I know this payment, which by the way, I should have put in here, this payment should be PITI, right? Principal, interest, taxes. I know I could rent this house for $900, maybe $1,000. So I'm in it for cash flow. I'm not going to see when I'm close like this at 86%, I'm not going to make any promises to the seller other than I'm going to take over their mortgage payments and start paying them. Now, Steve, you still with me?
I am.
All right, now watch this little trick. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
If I know it's close like this, right? I could convince the seller, and I mean convince because I'm going to have to talk, to make the first 3 payments. So here's what happens. When you make a mortgage payment, when you first get your mortgage, they give you 30 to 45 days. So if you were to get your mortgage on January 1st, you wouldn't pay until February 1st or February 15th. They give you 30 to 45 days. The reason why is because when they lend you money, they have to give you the money and let you use it before they can charge you interest. But when you pay rent, you pay forward. You pay first, not last. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say to her, listen, Kimberly, because that's her name. Listen, Kimberly, here's the deal. I take over the mortgage payments. So today is, what is today's date? May 18th. If I were to take over your payments on June 1st, you have to make the June 1st payment because the June 1st payment covers May, and you had the house in May, most of May. So you have to make that payment. But I also need you to make July and August payment because, see, I really can't pay $82,000. That's too high for me. I should really be paying like $65,000 or $70,000. And I'm paying for all your closing costs. So I've got thousands of dollars on top of this. So if you just make the June, July, and August payment for me, we'll call it even. I think we could do the deal. 90% of the time, 95% of the time, they will say yes. Now, here's what happens. You now picked up, so now it's May 18th.